Welcome to the Global Wellness HQ family of podcasts. We are your international headquarters for resources and ideas and insight in relation to the 9 elements of holistic wellness. Join us as we interview local and international wellness experts and learn how you can implement and improve one element or dimension of wellness at a time. Our experts will share their practical tips on wellness in one of these core areas: emotional, intellectual, occupational, physical, environmental, financial, spiritual, social, or habitual. We created our family of podcasts as a resource for anyone who is looking to integrate the 9 elements of holistic wellness into their daily lives. Welcome to the show. The Global Wellness HQ family of podcasts is proudly sponsored by the Global Wellness HQ community. It's an online membership group where we meet, we share ideas, we share insights, and we all work together and help one another discover our own personal wellness journeys. If you'd like to join us, you can easily click the link below or scan the QR code. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today, I am really excited to talk to Kerry Henry about WePellet. Kerry, would you mind introducing yourself? Just tell us a little bit about you and tell us what WePellet is.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kerry. I am from San Diego, California. I'm actually born and raised California girl. I've lived in San Diego for 35 years. I have been in the healthcare industry for about 20 years now. I was in more of a traditional type aspect of healthcare, and I have recently ventured out into WePellet, which is bioidentical hormone replacement pellet therapy. It's a mouthful. It's a tongue twister. I get it. However, we are in the business of helping men and women who are going through perimenopause, menopause, or for men, andropause. As you get older, your hormones diminish, and we are there to replace them naturally via a pelleting process. So that's kind of our main purpose at WePellet. We also do some other things such as IV hydration and injectables and things like that. But our main focus is pellet therapy.
I love it. Now, I'm going to ask a kind of barbed question, but it's tongue in cheek here. I'm going to guess nobody wakes up and says, I really need pellet therapy today. Where do I go for it? What would somebody be waking up to and saying in their head where they go, oh, actually, I don't need this. I need to go see Carrie about pellet therapy?
Well, I will be honest with you. People that are experiencing these symptoms know it because they're there, right? Like they're hot flashes, night sweats, irritability, all these things. And they are going to a traditional doctor. For women, it's OBGYNs. And maybe they're not getting the type of experience that they like. Maybe they're not getting the results they like. Maybe they're not getting the feedback or the treatment that they like. So a lot of times people will seek out an alternative and perhaps looking for that. And that's where I come into play. Um, you know, People that are experiencing these symptoms know it, but they're just not per se happy with the treatment that they're getting.
I love it. And I think it's that, dips in energy. It's this, I mean, let's be really candid. If you're not sleeping at night, you're going to be miserable. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And you're going to make the people around you miserable. So to me, when I was reading some of the symptoms, if you don't deal with the sleep issue, nothing else really matters because you're going to be miserable anyways.
Sleep is a big, I would say probably 90% of my patients suffer with sleep issues, whether it is falling asleep, staying asleep. And you're right. I think that, day to day, we all have kind of stressful lives, whether it's kids, jobs, life, etc. And sleep is important. So hormones, pelleting, it all kind of goes back to helping with sleep, irritability, and again, libido. A lot of men and women hit a wall at about 2:30, and they're going to Starbucks to get their, grande, extra calf, whatever. And instead, I mean, it's a lot. So yeah, we are here to help that.
I feel like you should be standing in line at Starbucks at 2:30 handing out your business card, but that's
I know
another
that's not a
conversation.
bad idea.
The people at Starbucks might say something about that.
I know.
Now,
I'm gonna go put my card up.
I feel like it could be. Now, I'm going to ask you probably what I feel is the most important question. It's my favorite. Tell me why. Why do you do what you do?
Well, I'll tell you why. Like I had mentioned earlier, I have been in healthcare for many, many years, and I personally have had some, not so great experiences with my personal doctors, OBGYNs, and I have talked to other men and women my age that have, experienced the same thing. And so my business partner and I, through other colleagues, we said, look, we have this opportunity to help people. And so we went into it in a way of, you know what, we don't feel our chronological age. I certainly don't feel my chronological age. I want to feel better. But every time I go to my doctor, she tells me the same thing. So we started this business purely on the fact that we want to help people. We want to help people find a solution to the symptoms that they're having. And we want to do it in a natural way. And we do it in more of a concierge way, in the sense that we're going to take care of everything for you. All you have to do is come in and see me. We're going to do your blood work. We're going to do a full panel. We want to see, first and foremost, where you're at. How can we diagnose you and treat you, unless we know what's really going on with you, not 100 people before or after you. So it's more of an individualized treatment plan to help people feel better. And that's why I went into this, is because I truly want to help people feel better, because I've experienced it myself. I've been pelleting now. I don't want to get into it. I'm on my fifth pellet. I've been doing it about a year and a half now. And you don't really know how kind of bad you feel until you start feeling really great. So I want to share that with people, basically.
I love it. And by the way, I'm passionate about wellness, and I find traditional medicine, they define wellness as the absence of illness,
Yeah.
whereas wellness is not just about not feeling crappy, it's about actually feeling good. So
Yeah.
I think this is a natural fit for the show. Now, I'm going to ask a couple of questions that might seem a little self-serving for you, but the reality is, me thinking about hormone replacement therapy, my immediate reaction is, do I need to go to a doctor? Like, I feel like there's a bunch of steps, but what I just heard you say is that if somebody comes to you, you take on the blood work, the analysis. Is there anything somebody has to do with their existing doctor before they come see you, or can they just come straight to your door?
There is nothing that they need to do with their doctor first. My nurse practitioner um, has many years in pelleting, and we do an initial consultation prior to blood work to find out if you have any underlying health issues. For women, if they've had a hysterectomy or, fibroids or things of that nature. So we do a thorough consultation with my nurse practitioner to find out your general health history. So it's just like seeing your doctor, pretty much, my nurse practitioner. And then from there, we do your blood work. And then from there, we gauge you. So to answer your question, no, there's nothing that you need to do with your general practitioner first.
Awesome. Now, I know we could get into the difference between, I'm going to say Western medicine, for lack of a better word, versus, more of a holistic approach. What are some of the mistakes? That's maybe not the right word, but what are some of the myths that you're hearing out there that doctors are using that are scaring people from getting alternative forms of help?
Sure. That's a big, big topic. So most traditional, I mean, we'll call them traditional healthcare providers, don't understand bioidentical hormones. And so they poo-poo them. And if I have a patient that says, oh, well, I'm going to check with my doctor first, then I know I'm never going to see him again, because general practitioners, I'm not knocking them whatsoever. However, they don't understand truly bioidentical hormones. And so there are myths about hormones, and there are synthetic hormones out there. Synthetic hormones are related to cancer. And those are what people, quote unquote, think of when they think of hormone replacement therapy. They think they're going to get injected with a bunch of synthetic hormones that are cause cancer. Well, I get that because that's what traditional providers think and know. They just don't know. So my job is to help educate you on what bioidentical hormones are, and then you can make your decision based off of what you've been provided.
I love that. And I think that's, if I can just be really blunt, there are a lot of things in traditional medicine that is cancer causing today. We won't get into things like thalidomide babies and, stuff like that. At best, modern medicine is a little bit of a testing ground. Um, but yeah, I think it's important to do your own homework. And I'm going to quote you on this. Just go in expecting that your doctor is going to poo poo another type of treatment that doesn't fit into their narrow textbook view of the world.
Well, I can also add, and again, I can get on a huge soapbox, but I won't. So another reason why I kind of got into this, as you asked me earlier, is that traditional medicine is linked to big pharmaceutical companies. And so big pharma is taking over. Like every commercial is a commercial for a drug that's going to get you off of a drug that's going to get you off of that drug. And big pharma companies are ruling, our medicine, which is really unfortunate. So when you go to your OBGYN, they're going to put you on a cream or a patch that this pharma company is pushing onto them to sell to you. So they don't really have your interest at heart when they're prescribing you this patch. All they want to do is make their quota and, push these drugs. And they literally are drugs. And so, you know, again, my job is to educate you on a natural approach to feeling better. So I just think that big pharma companies have a lot to do with medicine, and that's just disruptive.
Yeah, we'll avoid that soapbox today because I
Okay.
have some very, very strong opinions, and I agree wholeheartedly with you that when you see all these commercials, they don't have our best interests at heart. They are very concerned with, how do we protect the shareholders and our stock prices. So
Yeah.
now let's do something fun. What are some things? So obviously we want people to come and see you and see if the pellet therapy is a fit for them, but what are some things they can do just to feel better every day, before maybe considering that treatment? What are, do you have some suggestions for how they can get better sleep, or how they can, avoid lining up at for that 2:30 coffee hit?
Yeah. So I mean, when I talk to people on my initial consultation, you truly get to know people because they kind of talk to you about their lives, right? They tell you intimate details about their husbands and wives and their children and their work and whatnot. And I think most importantly, we all have to take time for ourselves, whatever that is for you, whatever that means to you. I know for me, I go a mile a minute and I just like to meditate. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, "Oh, Carrie, really?" But seriously, like sometimes in the morning, I'll just kind of like sit and meditate and just take a deep breath and just kind of think about my day, be grateful for things that I have, and kind of just focus on gratitude and positivity. Sometimes you just need to go for a walk. I think sleeping, a lot of it is just your mind can't shut down. And so part of, I mean, like hormones are hormones, right? But like your mind and how you react to certain things has a lot to do with you. You control it. You can't let other people affect you personally. So yeah, I mean, I just think personally, I just think just kind of slowing down and meditating and thinking helps to kind of like get you to a place of like, okay, this is where I'm starting, this is where I'm at.
I love it. And, a friend of mine, she started walking. I can't remember what she's up to now. I think she does 3 or 4 miles every day before she starts work.
Yeah.
And she said, don't talk to me if I haven't, she gave up coffee in favor of walking, and she's like, don't talk to me before my walk.
Yeah. No, I have a girlfriend who just recently started working from home, and she works from home, like, I don't know, I think in her kitchen, like in her bar. And she's called me and she's like, I'm going crazy. I'm like, get out of the house, go for a walk. She lives by the beach. I'm like, just go for a walk. And it's funny because she would text me every day on her walk. She's like, I'm on my walk. I'm on my walk. She said, you don't even know how it's helped me, because she doesn't like working from home. And so those are like the little things in life, and they're free. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you do it?
I love it. And I think that's, people, we're conditioned by big pharma to look for that magic pill that solves
Yeah.
things. And honestly, sometimes it's the simple things. North County is known for its beach lifestyle. Um, how do you not spend time on the beach? Why would you live there if you're not at the beach or going for a walk? So
Right. And people get so into their lives that they don't even realize that the beach is right there. And that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier, is just slow down a little bit. Life goes by really fast. Life goes by so fast. And, you know, I was with a bunch of girlfriends on Sunday, and we were like, well, because we went to the beach, and they're like, when's the last time you went to the beach? And they're like, well, I don't know. It's been like months. And it's like, yeah, like, just slow down. Life goes by too fast. Just enjoy it as much as you possibly can.
there's a really cheesy quote I heard once, that we're human beings, not human doings, and we need to spend more time just being.
That's
Now,
good.
I'm going to ask a total tangent question, but one of the things I'm very, very intrigued by is building relationships. And you gave me a little quote earlier. I'm going to ask you to repeat it. But what experiences are you seeing in couples and their marriage when they go through this treatment?
Well, my little comment is couples that pellet together stay together. And I say that a little tongue in cheek, but it's true, because if one person in the relationship is going through pellet therapy or hormone replacement and the other one's not, you can be on a totally different level. And I think it's important that both people in the relationship are kind of optimized and on the same level. It's huge. It has to do with not just libido, it has to do with feelings and energy and mental clarity and mood and sleep. And so I feel like if both people in a relationship are optimized, it's going to be a better relationship. And, people have this thing about like, oh my gosh, when you're 55, life's over, right? Like, I mean, I don't know how candid I can get on this, but,
As
but,
candid as you need to be.
like if you talk to people a little bit older, they're like, oh yeah, at 55, you go through menopause, you're done. Like no more sex, no more fun in general. And I will tell you, I speak, I speak reality, because I'm 49, but my patients are anywhere from like 40 to 70. And there's life after 55. I'm telling you, it just kind of begins, because you really truly understand yourself, your life, where you're at. So why in the world would you give up? you know?
I love it. I love it. And honestly, I think that's just something to think about is, again, traditional medicine has painted this picture
Right.
of decline and decay, and, life gets less fun as we get older.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that you are working to fix that. Now, I'm going to ask you to tell me a story, and you don't, obviously, I don't want you to name names, but tell me about one of your favorite patient experiences. What were they suffering with when they came to you? What did it sort of look like to work with you, and what was their big transformation at the end?
Okay, I have the perfect patient, and I don't. Again, I'm just going to be as PG as I possibly can. I had a woman who's 69 years old, and she's active and she's fun. And we started off our conversation with kind of her lifestyle. She just had a grandchild. She walks on the beach every day with her girlfriend, and she was suffering from lack of sleep, poor energy. I mean, low libido, like non-existent, but she has this amazing relationship with her husband, and she kept naming his name. So you just knew that like he was her best friend. So anyway, she was kind of a little, I don't want to say nervous about pelleting, but she had questions. But she said, Kerry, I don't know what else to do. I don't trust my doctors necessarily, and I just feel helpless. And I said, well, I will take your hand in this and I'm going to walk you through it. And I even gave her my cell phone after we did her blood work because she wanted to talk to me personally about it. And I went over it with her. And, she kind of was a little reluctant. She's now like thriving after this is her second, she's on her second pellet. We just did her blood work. She's having the best sex of her life. She's like, it's been 17 years, Kerry. And I was like, I didn't get into details with her, but the smile on her face was really exciting. And when she walks in the office now, she's just like, excited about life again. And not just for the sex, but she's just happier. And so anyways, we exchanged like fun little tidbits, about wineries and places that we've gone. And, it's so rewarding to see these people transform into she's 69 years old and she's like starting her life again. So I mean, I don't want to give myself that much credit, but it's just really fun when you take somebody from a place of like a little apprehensive and scared, but not happy with their, progress, and then seeing where they're at now. So that she's a really fun story.
I love that. And I mean, we don't need to go into the details, but just the fact that, at the age of 69, she's starting a life over and seeing some energy and
Yeah.
having fun with it, which again,
Yeah.
I just turned 50 and I don't want to be that old person that nobody wants to talk to because they're cranky all the time. So I love that. Now, what is the best way if somebody wants to learn more or they'd like to have a conversation with you? What's the best way to get in touch with you personally?
Call me.
Excellent. That's a great answer.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say call me. I mean, you can go to our website, but you really don't get the information. To be honest, people have questions that might be a little bit more intimate, or, I don't even know how to ask you this, but Kerry, what do you feel about this? And I can give you my personal opinion. So I would say the best way is to call me.
Awesome. And we'll put your contact details in the show notes so people can reach out. Is there anything I should have asked you on behalf of our listeners in the wellness community? Anything I should have asked you that I didn't?
I don't know that there's anything that you should have asked me. I mean, I just want people to know that I love to help people. I'm here as an alternative. I have answers. No question is inappropriate or unwanted. So no, I don't think so. I'm just here to help.
I love that, and I think it's important that um, people need to know that they can have a chat with you, and I know you well enough to know that you're fairly sincere. If you believe you can help them, you're going to find a way. If you don't think you can help them, you're going to be pretty candid with that. But I suspect most of the problems we've talked about, a lot of it is down to hormones and the need to balance them.
Absolutely. And that's another thing you kind of pointed out, is that if it's not something that I feel that I can help you with, I will redirect you. I'm not here to take money. In fact, this isn't a money making business per se. I'm here to help people. And that's what I thrive off of, to be honest, these stories like the one I told earlier. So yeah, I will definitely do what I can to help.
I love it. Well, Kerry, I want to thank you on behalf of my audience and the listeners out there in North County. I want to thank you for being on the show today, and I really, truly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our show. We hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we invite you to either click the link below or scan the QR code to register and listen to other episodes of our podcast. Or if you think your business or you would be a great guest to be on our show, we're always looking for experts in one of the 9 elements of holistic wellness. We'd love to have you. You can either click the link below or you can scan the QR code and complete our speaker intake form. Thank you, and to your wellness.